Welcome back to It Figures. Tonight I am going to be reviewing the 30th anniversary of Aliens, and that would be Private Jenette Vasquez. So this is a figure from NECA, and the packaging here is pretty plain, which is okay. Across the top of the package it just basically says Aliens, and down the one side of it is actually pictures of Vasquez, and it's the action figure version, not the movie version. The other side is also a picture of Vasquez. Again, it's the action figure and not the movie. And on the back is another picture of the action figure, and there's actually a little sort of biography of who she is and where she came from and what she does in the movie. So that's kind of cool. On the very bottom is a picture of her again and the two other figures in this line. The front of the package is very open, so if you don't want to open it, you can see her in all of her glory here. But of course here on It Figures, we always open the figure. She's held into the back of the package with about 65 twisty ties. Well, maybe not that many, but there's quite a lot of twisty ties here holding her into the back of this package. So first let's take a look at this sculpt. Now NECA is known for their amazing sculpts, and this one, they just nailed it. I mean, this is pretty freaking spectacular here. Just take a look at this face sculpt first. I mean, that is the actress that played Vasquez. Just unbelievable. Even the red bandana that she has on has that texture to it, if the camera can pick that up. It has sort of that cloth-like texture to it, and that's pretty phenomenal. Also, the headgear that she has on is ridiculously detailed. Here's a really close-up shot of that headgear that she has on. Just pretty much movie accurate. The back of the bandana actually has the graphics all the way to the knot in the back. Just awesome. Not sure what this says here on her breastplate. Maybe some people may know this language better than I do, so if you do, please put it in the comment, because I'd kind of really like to know what this says. So each side of her belt has these great gigantic pouches, I'm assuming to keep ammo in, and again, the detail here on all of this is just jaw-dropping. As for her pants, she has, the camo pants on, and I guess this is a very strange looking camo. Of course, it's supposed to be in the future as well, but it's a lot of really great colors in there. And of course her boots, just like the rest of the figure, are ridiculously detailed. Every shoelace and every shoelace hole is painted. So as for the back of Vasquez, she has more of her armor, which you really don't even get to see in the movie. So this is kind of cool to actually see what the back of her chest plate looks like. And of course Vasquez looks like she really needs to hold something here, and of course that's her incredible gun that she comes with, and let's take a look at that now. So here is her famous gun that she has, and I literally just touched something right here and it broke off. This is, I guess, a little handle that's supposed to go there. I literally just touched it and the whole thing just fell off. So I mean, quality here, that's very disappointing that NECA couldn't actually create something that just wouldn't fall apart as soon as you touch it. And I have found that quite a lot lately with some of these NECA figures. It's either the articulation's messed up, or like that, it's just so delicate, you touch something it breaks. But here is a close-up of the gun itself. I was going to try to show it to you, and it's black, obviously, so it's kind of hard to see any of the detail on this thing. But there's a lot of detail here, and it's just, obviously just like the movie. But again, because it's black, it's hard to see any detail at all. So I'm going to try to show you the best I can what it looks like. And they don't really show the gun off that much in the movie. I mean, she's holding it a lot, but you don't really get to see this kind of detail in the gun. And there's a lot of stuff going on here. You got this, you have these cords hanging off of here, you have this here, which I'm not sure what that is. I think it probably attaches to her back, I guess. And there's no instructions on this whatsoever on how to actually put this thing together, so I guess I'll have to figure that out. And it comes with this as well, and this is her light, I'm assuming, or the camera that's on her shoulder so they can see what she's doing, which I'm also assuming attaches the figure. So let's see if I can figure out how to put this all together. Alright, so finally, after some time, I figured out how this thing attaches, and it's pretty ridiculous actually. So there's a little thing coming off her belt that this side of it here attaches into. Then it comes around right here, I believe that pulls off, and there's a slight hole in the gun right there where it goes into, which if you weren't looking for it, you would never know it was there. There's also this loose hose that I'm assuming is supposed to go into something, but what this thing is supposed to go into, I have no idea. I thought it might go into this hole here, but it doesn't really seem to fit that well. This entire figure looks fantastic. Now that she's holding the gun and everything, it looks like, you know, like she's walked right out of the movies. I believe in the movie, the gun had some writing on it that said adios, but there is no writing on it in the figure. And one thing about the gun, I love all the detail and everything in it, but they could have had a little shading maybe somewhere to make it look aged. The only color on this is this little red dot on the very top. The only other accessory that comes with it is this thing here, and you might be asking yourself, what is that exactly? Well, this is the gunfire that you put it on the barrel, and it looks like, you know, she's actually firing the gun. I personally think that looks a little silly, but I mean, it's okay. Alright, so let's bring up the old Figometer and see how Vasquez stacks up. I'd love to give this figure a 5 out of 5 because the sculpt and the painting and everything is pretty much perfect here, except for the breakage. Now, if I had forced this in any way, I would have said, okay, well, I forced it, it broke. But I literally just touched it, and it just did that. It fell right off. So, I mean, the quality of this, I think, personally, should have been a lot better than just break it when you barely touch it. I didn't cover the articulation here, but her shoulders, elbows, wrists, neck, hip, knees, legs, and feet are all movable. So in all, I would have to give Vasquez a 4 out of 5. And like I said, that has nothing to do with the paint, has nothing to do with the sculpt. It's just sort of the flimsy plastic that they're making these figures out of. And it's kind of disappointing. I mean, you have a great figure here that should be a 5 out of 5 figure, but because of that, it drops down. But overall, yeah, this is an amazing figure, and maybe yours will be built better than this one. I mean, maybe I just got a bad one. I don't really know. But yeah, I think NECA needs to put a little bit more effort into some of this plastic to make sure that it's not so breakable. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so I can see you next time on It Figures.